Hello, genealogist. This is Craig, and this is Just Genealogy. And the holidays are almost upon us. And holidays create a perfect opportunity to ask your family, the perfect opportunity to interview everybody without them having the sense of being interviewed. Ask questions. Where were you in this year? Where were you in that year? Uncle Joe, what was it like in the Army? Where were you stationed? It's also a time for, if you've been working this for a while, you have lots of problems. And I don't mean mental problems, although there are lots of people who think we do. I mean, you have maybe not necessarily brick walls, but issues you haven't dealt with yet that you've got to eventually deal with if you're going to be able to move forward. And some of them are more recent than others. So one of the things you could do is take a look at those problems before the holidays and figure out which one of your relatives might be the one who has the answer, and then query that individual as to what the answer might be. There also is the issue of, for example, my father is 95. Now, it isn't like I haven't asked my father many questions over the years, ad nauseum. But I have aunts that aren't with me anymore who I had wished I had asked questions when I saw them when they were older. I have a half uncle who died 2 weeks before I could get the ancestry test to him, the DNA kit. Had the DNA kit in my hand, went to mail it to him, went to one of my sources to figure out what his address was, found that he had died 2 weeks before. So if you're lucky, you may find out exactly what you're looking for, but you got to know what you're looking for before you can find it. So spend some time and figure out what questions you're going to surreptitiously ask without appearing to be nosy during the holidays. It probably is not a good idea to sit down right away and write notes. But generally, I have a piece of paper in my pocket, this pocket, that pocket, piece of paper in my pocket, just a small piece. And I've been known to go to the bathroom and write notes just so I don't lose sight of everything. Because writing notes in front of somebody or a tape recording may put them off because now it's different. I'm just talking about asking questions. And then recognize that you may end up dealing with something called a family tradition, which I will deal with probably in the next video that I deal with this kind of thing. So there's some pointers, though, about interviewing. Don't be open-ended. Be specific. Because if you're open-ended, you're not in control of the situation. If you're specific, you're in control of the situation and you have a better chance of getting what you're looking for. What you may do is start generally and move to specific if you think there might be an issue with them answering the question. But you want to be sure to ask about specific people, specific times, and specific places. Recognize that what you may end up with when it's all said and done is a family tradition, and we'll deal with that, as I said, in the next video that we do this kind of thing. The other thing you want to do, since you have family together, is you want to figure out what photographs, documents, discharge papers, diaries, letters, postcards, anything, any family papers you haven't seen before. And one of the things that you can hunt out is funeral notices, funeral cards, funeral things. When my own grandmother died, she was 95. It's in 2007. And my parents were going through her things. They found a tin can. It wasn't a tin can. It was a cookie tin, probably. And inside that cookie tin was a photograph of a man nobody had ever seen before. Turned out to be her uncle, the brother of her mother, that her mother never discussed. He died in 1913, and this was a picture of him just before he died. I'm now in touch with members of that family. I didn't realize that he even existed because he lived in Georgia. My folks were in Maryland or in New York. He escaped the family by joining the Army. He was in the 7th U.S. Cavalry. Also in that tin was a letter written in the hand of my great-grandmother saying that her name was Florence Maria Manning. Her maiden name was Manning, Beely. When all my life she was Florence Matilda Manning Beely. Now, I don't know how long there were other things in the tin. I don't know how long my grandmother had that stuff, but at least it was probably 1971, 72, because I think off the top of my head, that's when my great grandmother died. So here she had this stuff for 20 years, and I didn't go looking for it. I didn't know it existed. I didn't know that those were questions I had to ask. They opened up entire vistas for me. I got more DNA, folk, because that soldier who died in 1913 had descendants. And for a few years anyway, I didn't realize he had descendants other than a daughter. And I hadn't found the marriage of the daughter. But eventually, because of DNA, the children and grandchildren of the daughter showed up, and we were able to figure out how they fit. So it was fun. So this has been Craig. This has been Just Genealogy. And next time we'll talk about family traditions. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Don't forget the live stream on Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern time. The link will be in the live stream link on Wednesday at noon if you miss it. The way we do a live stream, in case you are confused by everything I'm saying, is we announce the live stream on YouTube, but the actual live stream takes place on GoToMeeting, and there's a link in the announcement from YouTube because we want to record it all. It's a big Q&A, and it's my 71st birthday. The best birthday present, as I've said before, that you can give me is to bring me another subscriber. I would love that very much. Thank you all so much. See you tomorrow.